Strategies, Practice, and Review with Practice Tests for 2016. So the neat thing about this book, it has 4 parts. It's broken down into 4 parts. You have the exam overview, which goes over the test itself and what to expect on the NCLEX. It also gives you testing strategies during that part. The second part is review content, and it gives a practice test at the end of each review section. There are 8 testing sections, about 25 to 30 questions at the end of each chapter. Finally, there's that practice test at 265 questions, which is recommended by many instructors, by many people who do live reviews, to do a whole 265 questions at one sitting when you're practicing, just in case you're doing the test at the computer and you end up getting that many questions. That's the core of it, but there's the other part as well, which kind of breaks down the licensing process as far as where you can go to get the license, what you need to do. It also has an appendix too. That's not really included in the whole parts of it, but the appendix include medical terminology and abbreviations. So this little book, which I guess is not terribly little, but it has a lot of information in it, and it's what I'm going to be reviewing today. That's just the specs. As far as the pros for this book, it is organized. It has a very nice format. It's crisp, it's clean, it breaks down the content for you to an extent, and then it'll ask the questions regarding that topic area. So say they're talking about safety. It'll talk about safety, things that you need to know about it, and then it will tell you, okay, now do 30 questions and answer it, and there you go. Another pro of this is it introduces strategies. I think any book that introduces strategies for tests is helpful. I think that's always a positive, because not everybody takes the test the same way. Some people think differently. Some people have a hard time understanding one way, so they have to think a different way. So having a different strategy approach is wonderful. Another thing that is wonderful with this book, another pro, is they have the rationale. I've ran across a couple of Hesse books. Hesse is another one that does like NCLEX review and stuff. And I actually did the live review. For that one, they did not offer us rationale when we did the live review unless it was from the instructor. So I kind of like not only hearing but seeing, so not being able to see that rationale was very bothersome to me. And this, it is black and white, and it's very clear, it's very concise at why that answer is the best answer. So I really appreciate the rationale in this book. It's definitely a positive. As far as another positive, it is friendly to those who might be computer shy. It's a book. Computers are kind of becoming mainstream. I have no problem with computers, but I know that there are some individuals who are not exposed to it at an early age that it's a little difficult to. It really warms you up to the computer. It kind of shows you exactly what those resources at the end, you know, what website to go to so that you can figure out where to get your licensing, or what website do you need to go to for like Kaplan's online review, which is offered, which is another pro, which is the last one that I can think of about how it has those online resources. I think that's all great. That's all the wonderful things of Kaplan that I have. There are a couple of negatives, which they're not terrible. I am by no means being endorsed by Kaplan or anything. This is my own free will. I just really liked this book, and I thought that people would appreciate a review, because I know it's really hard to spend $25, $35 for a book that it might not help you, and then you can't take it back and all that terrible stuff. So as far as all those positives I just mentioned, there are a couple of negatives that I did not like about this book. One, some of the strategies that they offer I believe 10. There's one that's 6 steps. I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in taking 6 steps to figure out a question. Some people might, and it's a good strategy, but it's just not the strategy for me. So I thought that they were kind of lengthy and a little cumbersome. As far as the appendix, I thought it was kind of bad. They did not have a lab chart. I have seen in several other books that they have a lab chart, and they'll have whatever it is, like red blood cells, white blood cell, whatever, and then they'll have the normals, the normal range. That's very useful, especially when there's questions asking about, you know, what's this white blood cell, what's this red blood cell count. And yes, we have those resources available, being nursing graduates getting ready to take the test, but it's just kind of handy to have that there. Another con was when you look at it and when you're doing your review, like when you look at the material and you're looking at like safety and effective care environment, it tells you you need to know like X, Y, and Z, but it does not give you any information about that. Again, it is a review book. It's not going to be a full, here's everything you need to know, just read this book and you're going to get it. It's more of a, okay, make sure you know these topics. If you don't, you have your own resources from your school, testing, or wherever. So I kind of didn't like that either. It was, I mean, there's a perk to it. It is a lighter book. It means that, it can probably be less expensive, but having some of that information right there would have been useful as I studied with this. Finally, some of the questions that were in this book, they were online as well. I was very persistent to do at least 2,000 questions before I took my test after I graduated. And as I'm doing my Kaplan, as I'm going through this book, I did all the questions, which there was a lot. It says on here, there's 185 exam style questions and 225 realistic end of chapter questions. So there's over 300, more like over 400 questions in this book alone. So it was just a small chunk of what my goal was, but going through it and then trying to go and do the online, which they had a 265 question test online as well, available at the website. It was very frustrating because studying this whole entire book and then going on to the online and seeing questions I'd already seen, whether I got them right or wrong, I had already memorized it. I was already familiar with that question. It wasn't challenging me. So overall, a summary of Kaplan. It has a money-back guarantee. It is very user-friendly. It has a lot of information as far as questions, and as far as strategies. So it introduces strategies and it teaches you how to critically think, which it is done very well. Overall, I would highly recommend this book. It was listed for $35, and I saw it for $35 at Barnes & Noble's, and on Amazon I think I got it for $25. So it's a fair price. It does have that money-back guarantee. And it took me about 3, maybe 4 days to go through the whole entire thing casually. So about 4 hours a day. I felt that it prepared me very well for the NCLEX, and obviously I was successful because I got my RN. There were other resources I used as well, but I feel like this was the bulk of it that truly prepared me. I hope that it was helpful, and go ahead and just peek into the Kaplan book and see if it's beneficial for you. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!